Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. Today is Wednesday. It's April 2nd, 2025. Today is day 544. I hope that many of you will join us. If you don't join us live, that you'll watch on video the program tonight with Reverend Dr. Munther Itzhak of his book, Christ in the Rubble. Reverend Dr. Itzhak's been with us here in Washington, D.C. yesterday and today. And tonight we're at New York Avenue Presbyterian Church. I wanted to give you an update of what's happened in the last 24 hours. Today, on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, it's now evening, again, Wednesday night. Hamas has said that they won't respond to Israel's counter proposal for a ceasefire, according to officials. They're affirming their commitment to the mediators plan instead. Israel said on March 29th that it conveyed to mediators a counterproposal in full coordination with the United States after Hamas agreed to a proposal that it received from mediators in Egypt and Qatar. And so Hamas has said that they're committed to the mediators plan. That's where things stand in terms of a potential ceasefire negotiations. According to reports from Gaza, in the last 24 hours, there were 77 people killed in the last 24 hours. Friends, our efforts calling for a comprehensive permanent ceasefire are all the more critical for the sake of the people of Gaza, for the sake of the children of Gaza, for the sake of the Palestinian people, for the sake of the people of Israel and all of the people of the Middle East, for the sake, of Americans who are complicit and participatory. The Israeli military has said that they will seize large areas of Gaza and incorporate them into security zones to destroy and clear area of terrorists and terrorist infrastructure, according to the defense minister in Israel. That was said today. Minister Katz said the execution of the plan will entail large-scale evacuations of Palestinians. Katz did not make clear whether or not the move would represent a permanent annexation of the territory. Hamas last week tortured to death a Palestinian man who publicly criticized the group and participated in anti-Hamas protests, his family alleges, CNN reported in the last 24 hours. UNICEF said on Sunday that at least 332 children have reportedly been killed and 609 wounded since the start of the renewed offensive in Gaza by the Israeli Defense Forces in the last 2 weeks. These figures were released by the health ministry from Gaza. 332 children in the last 2 weeks. A UN spokesperson yesterday described as ridiculous Israel's claim that there's enough food for a long period of time, as the siege on Gaza has now continued for a month. With humanitarian assistance, food, no trucks going in and out, the situation gets worse every day. In Israel, the Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday withdrew the nomination of Eli Sharvit to lead Israel's domestic Shin Bet agency amid right-wing backlash of Sharvit's candidacy. And the IDF also has said it's targeted Syrian military bases in Damascus following reports of Israeli attacks earlier today. The IDF released a statement saying that they struck military capabilities that remained at Syrian bases of Hama and a Syrian air base, along with additional remaining military infrastructure sites in the area of Damascus. In the U.S., a federal judge yesterday declined the Trump administration's request to transfer the Columbia student and pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil's immigration detention challenge to Louisiana, where Khalil is held, ruling that the case should be heard in New Jersey, where Khalil was detained. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio ordered diplomats to scrutinize the social media of some applicants for students and other types of visas in a bid to screen out those suspected of criticizing the U.S. and Israel from entering U.S. official sin. The Senate yesterday voted 52-45 to confirm the former acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker to serve as the U.S. ambassador to NATO. And the Senate is set to vote on Bernie Sanders' efforts to block $8.8 billion of weapons sales to Israel. So Bernie Sanders, his efforts to formally block the Trump administration's $8.8 billion weapons sales to Israel, that vote is set to happen on Thursday. While it's guaranteed not to succeed, the vote will serve as the latest litmus test for the growing democratic discontent with Israel's conduct in Gaza, general disaffection for Netanyahu and his far-right government. 19 senators voted in favor of Sanders' previous similar effort towards the end of last year, in an effort that drew a new line in the sand for Democrats' willingness in questioning the state of the U.S.-Israel relationship. So that's an update of just a brief update. Please continue to pray for peace, to pray that violence would not be the way forward, that bombs would not be the answer in a quest for security and peace, that occupation and human rights violations would come to an end. Pray for our efforts. Join us. May God go before us in the name of Christ. Amen.